Wermerskirchen, and this is Matt Carrell.
Hi.
And I've brought him here with me today as another straight to the source. So what does that mean? That means that I am going to tell you a part of the contract, and I'm bringing the person here, the source, the loan originator, to tell you a little bit about the difference between a loan availability deadline and a loan termination deadline and what those mean in a contract. So really fast, what are the differences and why do they matter?
Yeah, this is brand new, and basically what happened was the Colorado association that handles contracts.
DORA,
thank you, DORA. So DORA decided that there were way too many outs in a Colorado purchase contract. So these purchase contracts are all identical. And there were many ways for a potential buyer to exit the transaction, and a lot of times not operating in the best intentions, right? So
that's the ticket right there.
Yeah. And there were all these exit clauses for a buyer. DORA decided there was too much use of the loan termination deadline, which is a deadline in the contract that says you must have a loan acceptance or approval by this deadline. Too many people were using that to get out of it. So there's this new deadline that should be prior to the loan termination deadline by how many days?
Personally, I'm not even putting it in my contracts, because if I'm going out with a buyer, they better be pre-approved.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, people can put it in their contracts. I wouldn't.
Yeah. So the loan availability deadline is the new line item in the contract that states, do you have a loan? Have you been pre-approved by a lender? Mm-hmm. Right. This is a non sequitur. It should be done no matter what, especially in this market. But it's in there. So this is what we're kind of telling you about, is the loan availability deadline now states that you must have a loan product that is available, an FHA loan, a conventional loan, a jumbo loan, that's available by this deadline in the contract. Did you hit that deadline? Yes. Can you now exit because you said, oh my gosh, there's no FHA loan for me, and it's not a 40-year fixed, right? So it's a way to kind of take out those ways for buyers to kind of get out for really a not real reason.
A not real reason is they were being used for a not real reason. So now the loan termination deadline, which is really the only one that I would put in a contract anyway to be a stronger contract and giving the seller less outs choosing my buyer. What does that mean?
So the loan termination deadline basically says that by this deadline, it's typically anywhere from 1 week to 3 days prior to closing, we the seller want you, the buyer, to perform and to have a final approval by this deadline. If you do not have a final approval by this deadline, and we go past that deadline and you exit the contract, we, the seller, are keeping your earnest money.
And I think that really, in my opinion, that should only be used for a buyer losing their job at that point, or being demoted and not being able to qualify for that loan anymore. Something like that would happen. But yeah, it's
a great way to keep lenders honest, really.
Yeah, and Kim, my mom, as some of you know, partner, she has stopped. She's got a lender just like Matt, who's amazing and can actually get a pre-approval underwritten buyer going into a contract. She's been taking out the loan termination deadline to make it act like a cash buyer, and it works.
Yeah, that's the the new thing. The new thing is how are we going to represent you as a buyer in a way so that you can compete against cash?
Yep.
And as you know, DORA really should. They're making those outs for buyers less available. Mm-hmm. So you really have to be a strong buyer to come in and to be aggressive and to win a contract. So that's what Amber, your realtor, can do for you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for helping explain that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Straight to the source with Matt. If you guys obviously have any needs or more questions, please contact me.
Yeah.